Lionel Richie, running with the night. Lionel Richie. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live, and I'm shocked at this. I'm shocked at this. Well, I kind of figured this in regards to when numbers are really successful, they're celebrated. They're released to all the media, and it's like, yeah, we did this many buys. But when they're not so successful, when they're not what was predicted, or when they're even just modest, you get something like this. This is from Kevin Ioli. He's been covering combat sports for years, and if you hear anything about pay-per-view numbers coming out, it's usually either from him or him from the LA Times. So, long story short, Golden Boy releases a statement. We will not be releasing the overall figures for the fight between a terrific gate, a very successful linear pay-per-view buy rate, and an explosion in digital pay-per-view sales. Canelo Golovkin 2 was a more than successful event than its predecessor. Mistakenly, I purchased the fight twice because in order to do what I do here on YouTube, Comcast Xfinity, you can't watch. You can only watch it on your TV, not on your tablet, computer, etc. So I had to buy it on Fight TV, and I was very impressed, even though I've been promoting Fight TV, Fight.tv, down below in my description box for over a year now. I'm supposed to be putting my videos are supposed to be going on that channel like whatever. Moving on. It's being said that the pay-per-view has done just over 1 million pay-per-view buys at $84.99 a pop. It's about 85 million in revenue, coming from a pay-per-view. Now, of course, obviously, you're going to say, well, they still got to tally up, and right now it's 12:06 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, September the 22nd, 2018. It's been literally we're now hours, about 12 hours or so from it being 24 hours from it being literally a week since the fight ended. So before, we would have to wait until after the HBO replay, which would be this weekend. And we would have to wait until after, like 2-3 weeks or so after the fight before we hear about what pay-per-view numbers are going to be. Well, in this day and age, you should be able to go to Fight TV and say, if you're a Golden Boy or 360 Promotions, Golovkin's team, and say, hey, yo, how many people bought the pay-per-view last night? And they like, well, we got a such and such, and it was crazy. And then calculate, go to the Dish, Fios, DirecTV, all them, and say, what was the number? Like in this day of digital, for example, for my videos, I can get the numbers like in deep detail. Sometimes at most, it's maybe about 2 days or so behind. So I'm thinking by this time, maybe about by Thursday or so, in today's age, they should have the numbers. But nonetheless, I think that still for it to do 1 million pay-per-view buys is crazy successful. In the days of streaming and everything, the first fight did around 1.3 million, and Golden Boy said that was false and said it did much higher. They actually put out a press release. But nonetheless, for it to do 1 million still, and they didn't have an HBO face-off, only one episode of HBO 24/7. They didn't really do media rounds, even though they did it because it was supposed to happen in May, and they didn't want to do it all over again. Still, boxing promoters have to understand that more still has to be done in regards to promoting these events. And don't get me wrong, Golden Boy it's hard to explain unless you're in media, but Golden Boy is ahead of the curve in so many different ways. For example, I don't know if that's their business model or if they understand like the importance of the press conferences, the media events, the workouts, the interviews. They literally give all that to the media. For example, I didn't even have to go to the fight. So I was able to get all the information and get it all out to you without even having to go to the fight. Post-fight press conference, interviews, all of that. More promoters need to do that. For example, I have an issue with Top Rank is because their press conferences and media events are behind what is called a paywall, meaning you can only see their press conferences on ESPN Plus $5. Like, that shit should be free, right? My bad, I'm all fidgeting around. It's late, man. I'm tired. But let's say, right, you have to count, BT Sport, who was the overseas UK broadcaster for this fight pay-per-view. Their pay-per-views over in the UK are, about 60%, 55, 60% less than ours. What is it, about $30 for you guys over there? 30 quid, some shit. 25 quid, something. We're over here, we got it $85. But now guess what? This year we only having two usually every year we have two pay-per-views. Wilder versus Fury is fully, officially done. I'm wondering what they're going to price that at, $84.99 or $74.99. Mayweather, shit is $100. Factor in the gate. For example, the first gate for Canelo, Golovkin did around $27.5 million, if I'm correct. So if you were to add, let's say, for example, this gate does around 28, 29, plus the 84 if it did 1 million. Let's say, for example, okay, let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that overall, after everything's calculated up on the American side, it's like 1.1 million pay-per-view buys, something like that. Then you get another 20, 30, 40 million. See, this is the stuff I'm really, really trying to learn, because there's so much information. When you do videos like this, especially me, like, I really like to have all of the stats. I really want to know what's the percentages behind how much does HBO get. The broadcaster, for example, Bob Arum said something when he was really, really upset that Terrence Crawford and Victor Postol had to be on pay-per-view. HBO gets something like 7 to 9% from everything off the top, something like that, for broadcasting and all of that. Or is that 7.9% from the profit? And I don't know. But nonetheless, these guys are making a whole, like, if you look at it, the quality of the fights for them to be close fights, for them to be doing $1 million, for Golovkin to be in 2 straight fights to do $1 million, it's big shit. But however, looking at these numbers, will Golden Boy say that's not enough for us to go for a third time? What does a third fight do? Like, the third fight right now, I don't think they should go. I mean, should they go immediately into it? If they were to do it, if they were to do a third fight, should it happen in May the 4th of 2019? Should they go immediately into it? Or is it one of those things like where it's got to build up a little more? For example, obviously streaming wasn't nowhere near as big as it is now. But look at how Pacquiao versus Marquez 3 versus 4. Wasn't 4 slightly more successful than 3 because of storylines? Like, if they can get a storyline behind this, but after all, if they wait another year, Golovkin's going to be a year older. He's 36 now. They wait till next September, it's going to be 37. Or if they wait a year and a half, he'll be going on 38. Or he will be 38, right? Depending on when his birthday is. What other fighters can Canelo fight to generate more money than Golovkin right now? I'm telling you, I think that Canelo versus Errol Spence is cooking. Oscar De La Hoya fancies him. He fancies him so much. I think that De La Hoya and Canelo's team would offer the fight to Spence before they offer it to Charlo, even though Charlo's the mandatory. But Spence can be like, no, I'm not taking it. It's got to be Charlo. Canelo's supposed to return in December. They've been talking about him returning in December. You know, now it's going to be 3 years if he don't return in December, because he fought Cotto in November 2015. So 2016 he's supposed to return in December. 2017 he's supposed to return in December, and now 2018 he's supposed to return in December. His mandatory is David Lemieux, WBA, and the first mandatory in line technically is Jamal Charlo, WBC interim. Danny Jacobs is taking on Sergey Derevyanchenko for that vacant IBF title that Golovkin got stripped of on October the 27th. October the 20th, Billy Joe Saunders, WBO 160-pound champion, is taking on Demetrius Andrade, or as Eddie Hearn likes to say, Demetrius Andrade. Ryota Murata is going to be taking on Rob Brandt. I forgot the exact date for that fight for the WBA World. I believe it's in October or November, likely October. It's going to be interesting what Golovkin's going to do, because he's not going to be back there saying until April or May. He wants to be on that same timeline. And right now, I don't think that they want to put, Canelo, and since he's had that year layoff because of the suspension, I don't think they want to put him in just 3 straight back-to-back fights with Golovkin. They want to dial him back a little bit. Get him a David Lemieux. Jamal Charlo is huge. Here, let me see if I can pull up a picture of Jamal Charlo and Canelo together. And I'm talking about in height-wise. Let me see if I can find a picture of them. They took a picture together. The Charlo, when he used to have the dreads. Can't find it. I don't feel like searching through. Forward. But Canelo, if he wants, he can trump both. He's a free agent, by the way. He's not with HBO anymore. Or Golovkin's not with HBO. They're taking offers. Whoever gives the best offer gets Canelo right now. There's not a real. I mean, obviously, I think HBO would have first dibs, but right now it's looking like literally legit that HBO's on their way out of boxing. He could bypass the mandatory with Jamal Charlo and David Lemieux and go after the winner of Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andrade, because a unification trumps a mandatory. Or, Danny Jacobs, Derevyanchenko. He can sit out until May. Remember, he got cut in this fight. People are war torn. They're like, Canelo won, Golovkin won. More people saying Golovkin got robbed. I'm on the outside. I'm like, hey, man, I don't even want to talk about who I said won anymore. Motherfuckers is pissed. They taking that. Listen, people taking shit to the streets. I've been reading comments and shit. Motherfuckers is at war. They're going, I think that people probably lost their lives, man. God forbid. I think, see, when they decline to release a number, that's going to make people think like, yeah, that shit didn't do good like they wanted it to do. I was saying 1.5, but then I had to factor in, it's so fucking easy to stream fights these days. My God. And with technology, we're going to be able just to pull that shit up on our fucking hand hologram, like, and you just be able to watch the fight, like walking down the street and shit. Like, this shit is fucking easy. I mean, obviously, you're going to have your hassles with fucking buffering and all that shit. But what the fuck? Oh, whoa. Just so we know. Let your motherfuckers know. Hold on. Okay. Where we at? Where my fight at?
Got hit a lot.
Results. Did they erase my fight? One pay-per-view order. Oh, I was about to say. They took my fight. They took my fight. It's okay. It comes on the replay comes on HBO tomorrow. And I have it on my DVR on like the actual pay-per-view in case HBO try to cut it all up. But I paid for this. I was going to show you all that I paid for it, yo. Twice. But yeah, I do know how easy it is to stream. That shit is whack. You know, you got so many fans who talk about the sport, how much fighters should be making and not making and all that shit. And then they stream the fight. You even got YouTubers that stream the fights. They make money talking about the sport, yet they stream the fight. That shit is weird, man. Motherfuckers is weird, man. Motherfuckers got no fucking gorm. Low down, lower than a serpent's belly, some of them, man. I tell you. But anyway, I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.